South Norwalk, down the street on North Main Street. And I'm a very strong supporter of this plan and of this change to facilitate further movement on this plan. And I several years ago invested actually in a historic property that was somewhat blighted, and have invested heavily in it in anticipation of this project or a project like it taking place. And I think this is a huge opportunity for South Norwalk and Norwalk as a whole, and I do not think we should let this opportunity pass us by, because as somebody said earlier, well, there is going to be something there eventually. Well, that may be true, but I'm sure they were saying that 20, 30 years ago as well. So I think this is the right time, and I strongly support it. Thank you.
Kristen Jensen.
Good evening. Hi, I'm Kristen Jensen, and I own a production company, and I'm a member of the Norwalk Chamber of Commerce. I strongly urge you to look at this plan. I am all for it. I think it would do wonders for South Norwalk. I can't imagine a reason why anybody wouldn't want to make this plan happen. And just on a side note, I lived close to this area, and the only place I could go shopping was Danbury Mall, and that was quite a hike. So to have a mall this luxurious, and to have a mall that would have a hotel in it and apartment living would be just simply amazing. So thank you very much.
Joanne Horvath.
My name is Joanne Horvath. I live at 1 Converse Lane, Norwalk, Connecticut. I am in favor of many aspects of the General Growth Properties proposal for an upscale shopping mall to be built at the former Reed Putnam site. Redevelopment for this site has been ongoing since the 80s, and finally a developer has come up with what I believe is the best possible use for this property. This parcel is highly visible to nearby Interstate I-95. It is easily accessible by the Route 7 connector and exits 14 and 15 of I-95. The proposed land disposition agreement calls for a mandatory 5% of the space to go to the public ground, plus a minimum of 2 other uses. I am in favor of GGP's proposal to build a high-end regional mall consisting of retail/restaurant space. This upscale shopping experience would add another segment to Norwalk's already diverse group of shoppers who visit Walmart as well as Kohl's. Presently, Nordstrom's has signed on to be one of the anchor tenants in this mall. I personally hope that Bloomingdale's commits as a second anchor store. Years ago, there was a Bloomingdale's in Stamford, which is now the present site of the Stamford branch of the University of Connecticut. At this time, there is no other Bloomingdale's in the state of Connecticut, and together with these 2 anchor stores, Norwalk would be, quote, put on the map as a destination shopping center. The second usage I support at this site is 60 to 350 residential units with 15% designated as affordable. The reason I recommend housing at this location is that it is not, it is not far from the South Norwalk Railroad Station. is on the Norwalk Wheels bus route, and as mentioned before, near major highways. This would be a perfect spot to locate a transit-oriented development project. The only thing that I would not like to see built here is a hotel. I see no reason to build one at this spot, since there are plans, I believe, already underway to build an extended stay hotel not too far away near Washington Street. This proposal will provide jobs and enhance I should take this out of here, and enhance our state tax base. Yes, it will bring in additional traffic, but in the long run, it will enhance the vibrant city that Norwalk is today. Since more people from other areas of Connecticut will be visiting the mall, hopefully they will bring in more business to other nearby local shops, as well as the numerous tourist attractions we have nearby. Thank you.
Colin Brother.
Colin Brother here, West Rocks Road, here in Norwalk. Also, I work downtown for a local architect, Bruce Finefield. I've learned a lot just from listening to the other people that have spoken in favor of the project, and I myself have been conflicted in the past, but I think knowing that this is just kind of the first of many steps moving forward, I think looking at the land disposition agreement is probably a very good idea, and then we should see what the eventual form of it should be. The only thing that I might want to make comment on is the 5% public realm. I think that the committee should really look at the wording on that and make sure that it's actually a useful 5%. I find just in working with developers and the Norwalk Zoning Commission that oftentimes the recreation area or the public space can get chopped up in various ways that isn't really useful to anyone. And I feel that if the public desire and the town desires a park as part of the public realm, that they should specify that it's some sort of plaza or something like we've ended up with at the Ironworks with the communal fountain in the center there, where the public recreation space has really brought the neighborhood together in a very positive way and created a nice little alcove off of Washington Street. Carving up in the minimum spaces as determined by the Norwalk Zoning Commission, 10 by 10 or whatever qualifies as recreation area, isn't really going to serve potential residents. It's not really going to serve the public at large wandering around the mall. So whether it's wider sidewalks with cafe space outside for the mall, or retail space to hang out and put your bags down for a minute on a warm summer day and just enjoy the sun. I think it should be thought of a little bit more completely as to what that 5% should be and how large it should be. Aside from that, I think I agree with most of the sentiments that people have been expressing, and you should go forward and study the eventual form of what this plan should become. Thank you.
Jackie Lightfield.
Hello, I'm Jackie Lightfield. I live at 5 Wall Street. I'm co-founder of Norwalk 2.0, which is an organization that has been actively working and promoting the vibrancy and flourishing of our downtowns, which include South Norwalk and the Wall Street area. I'm also the chairman of the Norwalk Center Task Force. I speak tonight knowing that this is the first of a very long sequence of steps that this project would go through, assuming that you agree to make the changes to the LDA to allow it to go forward. But I want to speak specifically to the changes to the LDA and to remind you of all of the work that we have done in previous incarnations. Myself as former zoning chair, many of you as part of various boards and commissions, and of course the council, about making sure that all of our projects connect to each other, that we don't always keep focusing uniquely on the individual project, but how these projects fit together with the entire urban core. So it's very important as you review the LDA and think about how the LDA will affect not just this project, but all of the areas surrounding it, and that you consider what those impacts are going to be. I know people prior to me have spoken a little bit about the traffic. Obviously, traffic studies and so on is something that usually happens at the end of the entitlement phase when actual site plans and things like that occur. But that connectivity isn't just about the traffic. It's about what types of civic uses and what types of public amenities are on the site and how they connect to the other amenities. As you know, it sits next to Oyster Trail Park. There is the railroad tracks that present an obstacle as a pedestrian from getting from one part of the site to the other. There are roads. We have now increased Martin Luther King to 7 lanes, where it once used to be 4 lanes. So we need to understand what the impact to a pedestrian will be coming from the other side, assuming that people want to come into this project. So that's pretty much all I wanted to say at this point. I'm sure we will all see each other again at many other parts of this hearing. Thank you.